Good morning, gardening friends. Travis here from Louisville, Kentucky, Zone 6B/7. And this is going to be our first garden walk, garden tour of 2021. So this will be a March garden tour. It's not going to be as pretty as the other months, of course, because we're kind of in between still dormant and, coming alive. So happy first day of spring. If you guys caught my last video, I went over quite a few projects that we got going on here for the 2021 season. So you're going to see in this video a lot of mess. So this is a project here that we started. So all this tree row, whatever you want to call it, like I said, I call it an eyesore. But all of that is coming out. That's the goal anyway. All the way down to the ground. Gonna get cleaned out good. I've started a pile here. And then I'm gonna put in like a nice landscape strip in between there. I'm gonna add flowering shrubs, some perennial grasses, and a bunch of different, beautiful plants. It'll look a lot better than it does now. Give you a closer look. Like I said, the yard and everything, in the spring, summer, fall, it's pretty, and then you look to your left and you see all this. And like I said, the neighbors were okay with it. I was afraid they were gonna say something like, "Oh no, that's our privacy," or something like that. But they are more than okay with us taking this out. They said they would help and haul it off, but I don't know. I don't want to take up other people's time and energy. Plus, I've got family that can help. Here is the pink dogwood tree, still not really showing its growth for the season. I'm hoping it's alive. I know some parts over here are kind of dead. Alright, so this is our front garden bed here by the road. Sorry about my shadow, guys. It's pretty sunny and bright today, but I'm not complaining. You can see there that I've got a little electric chainsaw and I've been starting on it. But anyway, the first flower bed here. I don't know if you can see this. We've got a rose in there. Daffodils planted here. They've not bloomed yet. For some reason, these don't do as well up here by the road. Let's see, what else do we have? These are the Annabelle hydrangeas. I think I planted these our first year. There's one here, one there. I think I planted those the first year we were here, so it's either their third or fourth season. It may be their fourth, but they sure didn't do a whole lot. Nothing too exciting this past summer. So I'm hoping this is the year that they really do good. So Annabelle hydrangea, nice pop of white blooms back here. Then we'll have our pink dogwood, and then this is the rose that was up front. I'll pan over here so you can see where I'm talking about. It was right there in between the 3 limelight hydrangeas there, and it was just getting overcrowded. When you go and purchase a beautiful shrub or something, sometimes we don't always look look at the tag and think about how big something is going to get. So anyway, long story short, this rose here was getting a little too much for that area. So I moved it over here. Hopefully it'll do as good as it did over there, but it is a little more shaded. However, when we get all this growth out of here, hopefully it'll do really well. In here we have St. Valentine daylilies. So those are the bright red ones, which will be a nice contrast. The reason I put red in here is because when the limelights fill out, that green with that red I think is really pretty. I got a little patch of tulips coming up there. And much like the front border, we've kind of repeated over here. Lamb's ear. In fact, let me just actually show you guys something. I'm sorry for all the background noise, guys. But there is the lamb's ear, and this one I believe is the big ears. So this will be bigger than the common lamb's ear. Alright, had to wait for that ambulance to go by. Just like the front here, we got the autumn joy sedum. Here's some, I just love that new growth in the spring of the sedum. Very dependable perennial. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with too much stuff that's not doing much yet. Here we have our crabapple tree. Starting to wake up. I'm trying so hard to keep my shadow out of there. Go this way. So spireas, slowly but surely, will be coming to life. We have 2 knockout roses here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep those in there forever. I was thinking about having some kind of structure right here, as far as like maybe a type of spruce, or I don't know, something. Maybe even a butterfly bush or something different. My coral bells here. I think this one's called Purple Prince. And this one, like I said, I think I said this last summer, I had about at least 12 of these planted last year in between the lamb's ear, because that silvery green with this purple would be pretty together. But anyway, they all died. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I planted this one the first year we got here, and this one has made it. It has survived. Of course, the limelights won't be doing nothing for a long time. They'll leaf out, of course, but they won't bloom until probably July. I do need to come in and cut all the blooms off of them, clean them up just a little bit more. I really don't want those to get as tall as they did this past summer, because they were like touching the gutters just about, and I don't like things over the windows growing, hiding the windows. Alright, let's go back here on the porch, check out our tulips. Now these are the purple and white mix. And sadly, this planter did not get planted up. I don't know what happened. I think money and time was an issue. Plus, I wanted it to match the other other one, and when I went back, all the purple and white tulips, just about all the tulips really, were gone. There's our dumpster. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Beautiful knockout roses. Think this one is the pink one, and this one is the yellow one. The yellow one is super fragrant. I talk about it all the time. One of my favorites. Of course, we have barberries in here too. Probably not coming out too well on the screen because of the sun. Spireas again. Just kind of repeated. A little bit more formal here up front. But of course, my favorite is always the wild and cottagey style. Here's more of that sedum coming back. In here, I also have catmint. Catmint, Nepeta. So this gets those blue flowers on it. In the early summer, late spring. I've got another batch over here somewhere, a bigger right here. So again, repeated. More of the catmint. Nice pop of blue. Another one right there. I'll have to add some more mulch again this year because you can see my plastic is showing. And then of course, always in the front, again, I'm going to do the Victoria Blue Salvia. Those of you that have watched me for a while, I'm sure you all are saying, God, I wish he would shut up about that. Because I talk about it all the time, in every video almost. But it is definitely one of my favorite and must-have annuals. You can't beat that blue color and all season long color. And then of course the red orange marigolds. So real quick, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video talking about our projects, but this tree here is a Bradford pear, and I don't like it. I don't like Bradford pears. So this guy is going to get cut down too. We're going to remove that. And the landscape here, this doesn't have to be done, it's not necessary, but it's something I want to do because I like to plant and I want more plants. But anyway, this garden bed, or the landscape here, is going to come out and be, I don't know if it'll go around the tree, or of course the tree won't be there, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's going to come out wider and then come back over to the driveway, and then I can plant more beautiful things. Okay, I think there's a cat in the dumpster. I hear something moving around in there. So here it is, y'all. I don't know where he's at. I hope he's not stuck. But this is all the big pile of stuff that was behind the garage, in between the garage, and that big pile in the corner that I was talking about in my last video. Alright, so there is our crepe myrtle. Obviously, we won't see nothing pretty from that for a while. Of course, I have limbed it up, and I really like the bark of it. I always pronounce this wrong, I think. Larapi, or... Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. That grass there, Liripy or something like that. That's what that is. And then the Ajuga. That dark burgundy ground cover there. Then I believe this is the Creeping Jenny. No, not Creeping Jenny, the Sedum. It's a type of Sedum ground cover. So this is just a mix of the like bright green and burgundy. Another chunk of that Sedum. And here are the prized David Austin roses. I forget what kind they are. I need to kind of do some research on that. But I got these from my grandma. There's another one on that end. These were hers. She had them for a few years. Quite a few years since we were kids. And she was just kind of wanting things to be a little less maintenance around the house. So I was able to dig these up and take them home. They're really pretty, very fragrant. This is a Hydrangea Bobo. I've got Daffs planted in here. I don't know. This is just an experiment. I don't know how good they will do. But there's some in there. In my pig planter, of course. I saw that and had to have it. The milk jugs, I'm going to do an update for you guys at the end of this video, I think. And we'll just do all that together. At the end, Russian sage there. Dorman, of course. More of that ground cover. Another hydrangea. David Austin. On this trellis we have that bright white clematis. So in May that'll be blooming. And in this container here are some more daffodils. Alright. Ignore this. That's going to be thrown in the dumpster. But in the last video, this was piled up here. This was our potager garden last year, and we did our vegetables here. Not sure what I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it this year. I would love to be able to get the galvanized raised garden beds. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, and put those in here. And I'm definitely going to do shorter stuff. I don't want nothing that gets too viney or too crazy, because we look at this area a lot when we come in the door, and of course the kitchen window there. So this is an ever-changing little area here. As you can see, the tulips are coming back up halfway around the border there. This is, there are actually 3 of them in here. I don't know if you guys can see. This is the Potentilla shrubs. And again, I don't know if they're going to stay here, but they're just kind of there for now. So not a whole lot. I did move the sage. Did move the sage back up here because it did really well up here, and of course it'll be blooming purple flowers in a little bit of time. All right, let's go into the backyard, guys. Everybody say hello to Chip. Chippy, that's his nickname. Chippy. All right, so like I said in the last video, we moved the whiskey barrels back here. Let's take a look at these beautiful daffodils here. This rose here is a pink rose. I think it's a climbing one. I'm not 100% on that. I actually got it, I think this one I got from Myers Garden Center, so I don't remember what kind it is. But I did plant it there this past fall, and it will probably get moved again because I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys in a previous video, but I'm going to get climbing roses, new climbing roses for the picket fence here. And I'm going with the Bathsheba. I almost said Baptisia, but that's not a rose. But Bathsheba rose, and I'm going to do 1, 2, probably about 4 of them. But the goal is to have climbing roses along the picket fence here and have them kind of weaving out throughout the pickets. And that, you can look that up if you guys want to. I wish I had the knowledge and the technology to make fancy videos where I could pop up a picture of them, but they are like an apricot orange rose. And of course in this bed there's an apricot orange rose right there, a peach rose. And so this will be full of different shades of purple, which I think will be great with the apricot roses. The purple is Veronica. There's some Veronica coming up in there. More lamb's ear. Don't know if this is going to come back. This is butterfly weed. So definitely lots of purples and pastel oranges and stuff like that in this garden bed. Again, not a whole lot of things to see this time of year. Let's see. In the raised garden bed back there, I had planted, temporary home for this rose here. I think it's a climbing rose, but I know it's like a dark red. But I just transplanted it here beside the garage here, and the goal is to get it to grow down along the garage. And like I said, the garage will be painted this summer, and it will be white to match the fence. The pergola will be white too. There's a hibiscus there, still dormant. Let's see. Check out the hydrangea. Now this will be this was also my grandma's, and this will be the second season it's been here. And last summer, I didn't get any blooms on it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this year it'll bloom. I don't know what the deal with that is. There's another hydrangea here. And then, of course, the burning bushes. Just kind of pan around here. So this is the main garden bed here, flower garden island. Some of you may call it a garden bed, some of you may call it an island. Whatever you prefer. So in here we have lilies. You can see those coming up. I need to get in here and clean up around them. Get this dead stuff out of here. Also, coming up in here is the loosestrife. That's what this is. And yes, I do like it. It's pretty, but it will take over. So, I will admit that. And I've pulled a lot of it out of here. So be careful where you put that. Let's see. More of the big ears. Again, not a lot going on. It's still March. But I wanted to show you how things look through the seasons. Like I said in the past, I do these videos for anybody that loves, gets on YouTube and wants to see garden videos, like myself. But I also do this for like a diary to look back on and see how far things have come, what worked, what didn't. So this is coming in from the gate. Not that anybody comes through this gate, but that's where we're at right now. Got stuff planted in here. Another hibiscus in there. This is the blue bottle path, inspired by Lark from Lark's Gardens on YouTube. Alright, do you guys remember these we planted last fall? These are the white and coral colored daffodils. I'm really hoping they bloom this year. They should. I think I'm just being a little impatient. But I'm excited to see those. These lovely, if I can keep my shadow out of there, the common daffodils. Behind them are the blue Siberian irises. Try to get in there so you can see them. So there's my big head. There is a drift of the blue irises in there, Siberian. This little circle garden here, we got a blue spruce in the center. Around the circle, we have the variegated. Let's see if I can get a good look at that. The variegated ajuga. And this summer, if I can stay in focus there, I want to plant one mass of things that will fill in, and I'm thinking maybe either purple or white, some kind of purple or white flower, but nothing that gets real tall. That's the goal. As you can see, I've got some Globemaster alliums in there. Those will probably get moved at some point. I may put those in that little area there in front of the peach roses, coral roses. Here's more of the Liripe grass. This is the variegated. I need to get in here and clean that up too. Little by little. This is Brennera. Planted that last year. Really pretty foliage. I mean, this is going to get bigger and fill in. But gorgeous foliage. And it gets the blue, airy flowers on it. I really like that. One of my favorites. Let's see. Let's go around this way. Got the Liripe repeated. There's a white iceberg rose there on the corner, I moved a pink grass, pampas grass, right there. Got some drift roses in there, Nandina, and the green barberry. Might get noisy. There's a lot of people out today. Here is that clematis. Alright, I think everything's calmed down now for a little bit. Autumn clematis, sweet autumn. And a bunch of other lilies and perennials coming up. Montauk daisies here that I planted last late summer, fall. Montauk daisies. Those are coming up. That is that red drift rose. Some more grasses, that pink pampas grass. This is my mullein. Remember I told you guys that story of me stealing the seed from the park, and I grew it indoors, and it's living. It's still there. What is that, Joe Pye weed? I need to cut that back. I moved an Nandina back here. Another rose. This is that red carpet rose. So let me guys show you. Huge difference. I still got a little bit left to clean out over here. If you guys remember in the last video, this was piled up pretty high. This was our catch-all area for limbs and anything else that we wanted out of the way. So, made some pretty good progress this weekend. This is we just won't look at this. This is a work in progress back here. Some irises. This is the mystery tree, shrub, whatever.